Welcome to another episode of Home Sweet Home. My name is Rod McCall.
And I'm Scott Nichols.
You know, it is spring.
It is.
The weather is warming up. The days are getting longer.
It's so nice. I mean, yesterday was Easter. So.
It was, yes.
So good, right?
I love springtime. You know, I'm not a fan of the mowing of the yard and all the yard work that comes with it, but I like the warmer weather, the idea of playing more outside.
See, that's the great thing about renting. I don't have that. I don't do the yard work. I don't do the mowing. I don't do any of that.
Okay.
So it works out for me.
Well, good for you. Well, you know what also is popular in the springtime? Love.
Oh, yeah.
Love is in the air.
It's true. Although lots of birthdays are in April, so that means that summer
really lots of loving in the summer.
Really is where it's at, right?
All right. Well, that's true. That's true. But, you know, they always talk about springtime and young love and all that kind of stuff. And I thought, well, might be fitting to talk a little bit about an article I ran across on BetterHelp.com. It's an advice thing.
You must do a lot of reading of articles online, right?
Well,
I mean, you're always coming across these great articles. I mean,
well, yeah.
You've got a great subscription list or something.
Well, you know how, your online presence, you know, with those algorithms, they always send you stuff. And since I read a lot of the same stuff, it keeps sending me more stuff for the same topic. So,
in fairness, I get the same things. So.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah. So what's this article? It's something about love.
Well, it's called Love is Action.
Oh,
why?
I love that.
Okay. I thought you might. Because it says, love is action, why words might not be enough. And I'm reminded of something I learned a long time ago that I apply to a lot of different things. It's called deeds, not words, make the person.
Right.
Now, when I originally held it, deeds, not words, makes the man. But I think it applies to men and women here equally. And so
I would say so.
I thought that it would be, you know, when we're talking about love, I mean, having gone through, you and I come from, you know, relationships and marriage from two different perspectives, which I think gives a lot of good insight. I mean, you've been married for over 30 plus years. I've been married and divorced and remarried after swearing I would never get married again. And so it comes down to, okay, what makes love work?
Wow. That seems like an age-old question. Like, are we alone in the universe?
Or chicken or egg, which comes first?
Right. Or what do you want for dinner? Right? I mean,
okay.
These are all tough questions.
Yes. No, I totally agree. But I thought it might be worth exploring a little bit because I like this individual article because they talk about how saying I love you is good.
Oh, yeah.
But you got to do more than just say things. And I mean, one of the things I talked about, you know, they started out by talking about the love language. All right. And, you know, we're all familiar with, you know, like words of affirmation or quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, physical touch. We did an episode years ago on these 5. And they're saying that these are valid. But if you notice, most of them, well, 4 out of the 5 go beyond just talking.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing. And that's kind of where I thought might be kind of fun to.
Well, and I also think like words of affirmation is not just saying I love you. It's recognizing other things.
That is true. Thank you for doing the laundry. Thank you for emptying the dishwasher. Thank you for, that's one of your favorites. Thank you for, you know, for the little things. Yeah. And I tried to with Sherry, you know, when we went to Hawaii last summer, I brought home a souvenir T-shirt, and I do not know what I did, but I got some stains on it, and I'm going, oh my gosh, am I going to have to throw this souvenir shirt in the garbage?
That must have happened at the luau.
Yeah, let's go with that. Yeah. Anyway, she was able to work her magic on stains because it had gone through the washer and dryer twice. And I'm thinking, oh, crap.
That's amazing. I would have just ordered a new one.
Well, yeah, I actually went online and I could not find this exact shirt.
Wow.
So she was able to work her magic, and the stains magically or miraculously disappeared. And voila, my shirt is now back to original condition. So again, I shared with her, beyond just, saying thanks, I tried to make it come across as, hey, I really, really do appreciate it. But they're saying that love is more than just an emotion, that love is a verb.
Right.
And
I agree with that.
And so I thought,
It's definitely an action.
well, because I keep going back, okay, what made it possible for my mom and dad to be married for over 60 years? In fact, the only thing that split them up was my dad's passing, when we're actually coming up on the 2-year anniversary of that event. But the idea that you got to do something beyond just simply saying things.
Yes.
So I'm wondering, okay, how do you use you and Eileen do love beyond just words? How would any examples of that as a verb?
I mean, I'm guessing if I didn't do love beyond words, she would be very annoyed with me because I actually say I love you an awful lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder if I just say it too much. Maybe it's too much. I don't know. She's never been like, stop saying that. So
true. Yeah.
right. She's not going to do that. So, but I say it a lot, and but I also try to back that up, with other things. I mean, I occasionally, and by occasionally I mean like very occasionally, I will stop by the store and get a thing of flowers. Right. So I'm not stopping by the florist to get the best thing. Right. Like I actually, it's kind of pitiful, right? Like I look for the sale flowers at Kroger, right? But it's not the fact of the flowers or like what it cost or any of those things. And I've never brought home flowers, and she's been like, I hate those, So like whatever I bring, she loves it.
Sure.
And she's happy that I thought of her for that moment and did that thing. And I think that's where you get to the action, right? Like it means that you did something more than just say it. You did something where it took a thought, and that thought was, is she going to like that?
Yeah.
Right. And then I give it to her, and she does like it, and she knows that I was thinking of her in that moment, that I went out of my way to do something that helped her. Now that's that's a gift, right? That's a gift thing. And that's one of those 5 love languages, right?
Yeah.
But then there's, for her, like, I know that like service is a big thing too. So like I do the dishes a lot. I try to, and she gets mad because she wants to do all the things. But I do things like, if I see the floor needs to be swept, I do it. I don't like complain to her. I don't ask. I mean, we're partners, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of how it is. And so if it needs to be done, I'll do it. And I don't want her to have to do all those things, right? So,
right.
I think those actions say more to her than all the times that I just say I love. In fact, I think they back that up.
And that's kind of what the article was saying as well, that, having these acts are in with an intentional behavior behind it, some kind of intention behind what you do. So don't just say it, back it up with actions. Right. And I truly do believe that the love languages matter, and how you do the different thing, you may not, I think everybody uses all 5 of them, especially those that are in a successful, healthy relationship.
Yes.
I don't think you just go, oh, well, I'll only do this one. I think that we might have a go-to, but I think we can go through those different 5.
Well, I think when you start with those 5, right, like you tend to do the one that you would want to receive.
Yes.
And as you grow in that, you tend to do the one that they want to receive.
And that's, I mean, for me, it's always, I guess I grew up with not just words of affirmation of my parents saying I love you, but they actually did things. So therefore, acts of service became a way that I would be able to communicate to those I care about that I appreciate you.
Right.
And simply saying it is one thing, but like I said before, talk's cheap, deeds, not words. And so that's where I've always tried to do acts of service, to kind of spread things, to emphasize that I'm not just trying to blow smoke here. I really do mean what I say. And so that kind of fits in with, what they're saying, that the love languages do matter.
They do.
But you can't just sit in isolation with them.
Right.
In fact, they even comment in here that actions speak louder than words.
Yeah.
And like you, I'll try it. Like, okay, Sherry didn't specifically say, hey, would you go pull weeds? She made a comment of, I am so busy. April is tax season. And so she is up to her eyeballs in both work for the company as well as she does taxes on the side.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's just like up to her ears. And so the flower beds out front were getting pretty bad. The flowers or the stuff out in the back was getting bad. And so not often, but a couple of times I've gone out and I just started pulling weeds. And she was very appreciative.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, again, it was a drop in the bucket. It didn't, get them all done. But I felt like, okay, I'm trying to show that I do listen. And so therefore trying to do things like doing the dishes. I try and make sure that I do the dishes, empty the dishwasher, those kinds of things.
I mean, my wife has a thing where she likes to, have a clean house. She likes things neat and those kinds of things. And I have come to very much appreciate that, especially over the last few years. I mean, I keep my desk at work generally free of clutter, which was not the case years ago, right? So it just feels good, right, to have things neat and orderly. And she likes it that way. It helps her focus and, keeps her from being distracted. So I just, even if it's like there's 3 cups that need to be washed, I just wash them. It just takes a few seconds. And it's actually kind of cathartic. Like, I actually enjoy washing dishes. It's different than all the other things that might stress you out.
And these are the kinds of things that they're expressing are activities that we can do, that we do for each other, that help keep that relationship working, keeps it nurturing. I always say that relationships are like bank accounts, that when you are able to make more deposits than withdrawals, then you'll be able to survive the difficult times.
Sure.
And so these little things are little deposits and generate, I think, goodwill. And that was one of the things looking back, I didn't do as often or as much with my first marriage. And when I did do them, then it became an expectation of, well, why aren't you doing more? And so it became a case of resentment rather than appreciation. And it created ultimately the conflict that led to the break.
Yeah.
And so that's why, again, go back to the old adage, well, do something. Don't just say something.
Right.
And so, like you, I'm not as good probably as it sounds like what you are. When the trash is full, I'll take the trash out. That's one of my big deals. Now, I don't, I try and run the vacuum sweeper once a week through the house.
Yeah.
I don't always do as good a job of that as I should. But I'm trying to get better at it.
I think that part of it is, if you're whoever you're with, right, it's a partnership. And I think that's part of the piece that people miss. Typically these days, whoever you're with and whatever partnership you're in, both people are working. Right? This isn't 1950.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not like one is working at home and the other is working, to bring in the money to be the breadwinner, so to speak. Both people are earning money outside of the house, typically.
Yeah.
And that, at jobs at least that exist outside the house. And so that means that both are working hard, both have stresses and both have other things, right? So why would it be just one person to do like the house duties?
I do agree with you.
And we're in a place where, we don't have kids at home anymore. So like we can't make them do it, which is great, right? We've talked about chores before. That's a good thing for them to do as well. But, so I know I happen to know the things that my wife doesn't necessarily like to do, but likes to have done.
Yeah.
And I can play off that, right? And I've just learned that it actually is fine for me. I like it. It makes her feel good. She gets happy. So, it's good.
Well, one of the things that they even discuss in the article is the idea of running errands. This is something that Sherry and I do is we run errands together and we'll go grocery shopping together. In fact, when she was, when she's not able to go. Like I say, dealing with work, and she's up to her eyeballs.
Yeah.
She'll say, just go to the store and get these things. It's a lot different experience when it's the two of us going versus just me. And I also notice we come home with less stuff. I'm less of an impulse buyer when I do it myself. But we'll go, maybe we'll go to Home Depot or Lowe's to get stuff. Or, whatever we do, a lot of times we'll go together and it's more enjoyable. Even though it's a chore of going to the store and bringing it all in and unpacking and putting it away, it's something we do together. And
we generally do that together too. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way and I'll do it by myself, but depending on our schedules, as you know, like being school teachers, like this time of year, it gets really busy.
Yeah, it sure does.
So it's just, but I also have done things where I'll do an errand for her, right? So I might be we read a lot of books. So I might be at the library and I'm like, hey, there's a book here for you. Like, do you want me to pick it up for you?
Mm-hmm.
And nowadays it's barcodes. So like I have a copy of her barcode and I can just pick up her book,
that's cool.
Or drop her books off, so that we can keep going. Right. But, so sometimes there's just those little things that if the other person's really busy and you're going to do something, going out to do something anyway. Mm-hmm. I even take my daughter sometime and my grandson out to do errands. It's just fun, right? Mm-hmm. It's fun for him. It's a good time to visit while you're still doing other things.
Yes.
So that's always a good time to connect.
It is.
And be away from all the other things that become distractions.
Well, and that's where the article says sometimes that love can be manipulated. And I experienced this with my first marriage with Eric's mom. I felt like what started out as stepping up and doing a little more when she had a lot of health issues.
Sure.
And I began to suspect that there was I felt like I was being railroaded, that she would pretend to be sick when she really wasn't, or exaggerate just how ill she was. And so I think that there were some manipulations, like I say, going on. She would say, I love you, when she didn't. I'm looking back, I question just how much did she really mean that. And I mean, she would say, well, if you love me, you would do this. If you love me, you would do that.
So yeah, that's different, I think, right?
Okay.
I think that's like if there's an expectation for that, I think that's different. There's some kind of other problem there that needs to be resolved. But I think what it really works when you're doing something that you recognize that the other person needs, right?
And
that's the issue.
Yes.
You shouldn't. It shouldn't be if you loved me, you would vacuum the floor, right? Because now when I vacuum the floor, it's not really because I love you. It's just because you told me to vacuum the floor.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So then but the other person's still not going to recognize that as love.
Well,
it has to be unsolicited.
Thank you. Exactly. And that's kind of the thing. I mean, okay, a lot of times people, and okay, maybe this is a tough topic to talk about, but sex. Sometimes sex can be used as a way to draw in and connect, but sometimes it can be used as a manipulation.
Yeah.
And so that way, I don't know, it was very interesting as they talked about all of this. And the one thing, like I say, the one thing that I felt was really good was that they're talking about little things that you can do. And I keep thinking about a lot of times, again, my mom and dad were able to survive 60 plus years of marriage.
Yeah.
And I can say that as one of 4 kids, we didn't make life easy on them. And so I keep thinking, okay, how did they survive? How did they survive the economic issues of dealing with, raising 4 kids? How did they survive us kids being very challenging? And some of the things that they were talking about were just little things like physical touch. And that could be sitting next to one another. And I can remember my mom and dad sitting next to each other everywhere they go.
Yeah.
In fact, I have a good friend of mine from growing up back in the day, and he said, that was one thing that was always interesting. Your mom and dad always sat next to one another. Even if it was just the two of them in the car or truck, whatever, they would sit right next to one another.
Yeah.
He said, I always found that impressive. I mean, holding hands, my mom and dad held hands all the time.
Yeah, we do that too.
Yeah, Sherry and I do. It took her a little while when we were out in public to hold hands, but now she has gotten accustomed to it and is okay with us holding hands when we're walking in the parking lot or wherever we might be.
I mean, we've been together since teenagers, and teenagers love to hold hands. So
well, that's true.
We've just never stopped.
Yeah. I mean, anytime we're leaving, like when I left today to come here, I gave her a kiss and I said, goodbye, I love you. And I'll give her a kiss when I come home saying, hey, I love you. You know, just little things, right. It's not a lot. It's not extravagant, but it was something that I saw my dad do for my mom, and I saw the consequences of a long-term relationship that was pretty healthy. I go, well, that's kind of what I want. And so I try to emulate that.
Right. See, I see it as, so with marriage in particular, right? I mean, there's, you may have a relationship that isn't labeled with marriage, and that's fine. And these still apply. Right?
Yeah.
But for me, right, in marriage and my religious tradition, right, it's a oneness. And so, like, how can I not do good things for that other person because they're really, like, we're one? Mm-hmm. Right. And that's the way I see it. Like, we had traditional vows. So I think about them, and it's just still a thing for me. But I don't think that's always a thing for people, right? They lose sight of, why did I love that person in the first place? What attracted me to them? What kind of relationship did we have initially, and how did we get away? And I think that's probably a whole nother podcast episode or series. But if you're not actively loving the other person, I mean, I feel like that might even indicate that you're not loving yourself very well.
Okay. No, that's a good idea. I like the way you say that. Because you're right. If you're not happy with yourself and who you are, it's hard to be authentic in your expression of appreciation, love, or gratitude towards others.
It's easier for you both to be happy if you're both making each other happy.
True.
Right?
No, that's actually, I like the way you say that, because I think it is very important to just say, again, and it doesn't have to be big, extravagant things. You don't have to go out and, buy them expensive gifts.
And it's not magic, right? Like, I think that's where people think love is. Like love is, I got this feeling and it's magic. And that magic is just going to stay forever. That's not how it works, right? That initial feeling is an emotion that you feel for seeing that person doing whatever. And that's going to wane. And so you need to have, and it doesn't have to wane, but if you don't do the other things, it's going to wane, and then you're going to have problems. You got to live in it. You got to keep it up.
Relationships are work.
Yeah.
And if you don't realize that it's work, then it might be a challenge for you to have strong, lengthy, healthy relationships. That, and that's kind of where they're saying, finally, at the end of the day, if you are struggling and you're going, well, I don't feel like my relationship should be, it's not where I wish it would be, or it's not what it could be, or it's not what it used to be, I have to say, I'm not saying this just because I am now a licensed professional counselor, but I have found getting professional help makes all the difference.
Sure.
It can help you recenter yourself. Because if you can recenter yourself, then it was like we just said, you can now be able to try and be that person you wanted to be more your authentic self than who you think other people want you to be.
I think that, and I love that the stigma that used to be associated with getting counseling is much lower, right?
Yes.
These days. And I think it's important because we are so isolated these days, right? So if all you see is your partner and you can't talk to them about this, then you've got a problem, right? I mean, if it used to be that people had large relationships in their communities, they knew all their neighbors, they got together for parties, they talked with their friends. Guys went hanging out with guys and women went hanging out with women and all those things. But now we all just work 24/7.
Yeah.
And when we're not working, we're scrolling on the couch while with the TV on.
Yeah.
Right. Like, it's not, and you're having some communication with somebody distant who's not in the room, and you're not having a communication with the person sitting next to you.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, I think that, to have that personal connection, to get face to face with a counselor and talk some things out is helpful.
I totally agree.
I'm not trying to sell your counseling services.
No, I don't even have one yet. But no, you're right. And it is you mentioned a handful of really interesting things there all at once. But you're right. Maybe that's why my dad bowled early on. Yeah. Well, I don't know that he thoroughly enjoyed bowling. I think he enjoyed hanging with the guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I play Magic the Gathering, and it is a lot of fun when we get together to play our card game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hours of time, and there's lots of teasing and goofing around. I mean, yeah, we play the game, but we also, I guess you could call it male bonding, but it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah. I mean, we have a small group that's associated with our church, but we meet, weekly typically. Uh-huh. And we spend less time talking about, the Bible
mm-hmm.
than we do just talking about life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the really enjoyable part of getting together with people regularly.
Yeah.
And that it may not be a licensed professional counselor, right? But you're able to, it's a safe group. So we're able to express things.
Mm-hmm.
And most of us, we're all in the same age range. So most of us have experienced something of what the rest of us are going through. And we don't try to solve anybody's problems.
Yeah.
But you listen. And that sometimes is the most important thing. And so, I mean, that's part of it too, right? You want to, as if you're loving the other person, you want to listen to them and not interject and try to solve it.
And that is I will admit that is something that I struggle with.
Mm-hmm.
That when you tell me
I think
something,
we all do.
Okay. Yes, I try. Well, I want to help fix your problem. And sometimes, and Sherry will say, look, I just want you to shut up and let me vent. You don't need to try and fix the problem. I know what I need to do. I know how I'll fix it. Or maybe it's just an unfixable problem, but you're going to feel better if you just vent your spleen a little, let some steam out, and then boom, you'll refocus and life will go on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've ever had this, but I definitely have, where I will say something that I just want to say it. I don't want anybody to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say it. But then when I say it and I hear it, I'm like, oh. And you recognize like what your problem is.
Uh-huh.
And you can solve it yourself at that point.
Yeah.
And sometimes vocalizing is just all you need, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I see show. I don't know much about actually doing counseling, but like I see sometimes, or even in coaching, right? When I might be coaching a colleague or something, and if you say something, I don't necessarily have to give you feedback on that. You just heard it.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, you got it.
And
right. I mean, you see that with students, you see it with, and it's just let people say it, and don't take it personally, and just let them hear it and then see what they do with it.
True.
So,
well, I think we went a little sideways on that one, but it was a good that we did.
I still think it's relevant.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? I mean, that's part of, I think that's a big thing in relationships. If you love me, you would just listen.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Again, the article talks about small, kind gestures, and being that some person that they can trust and feel safe with. Yeah, okay. Maybe we weren't that far off topic.
I think it fits right in. It may not be a specific love language, but it is
appropriate
there,
though.
Right.
So anyway, like I said, I like the article, and it might be something to consider the next time. Life is a little challenging. Your relationship isn't going the way you wished it would or could or think it should. Well, take a reevaluation. Think of the little things maybe we could do to make things a little happier at home.
Yeah. These are easy things to do.
Well, thanks for letting me explore this.
It's awesome.
Until next time, then we'll see you later. I'm Rod.
I'm Scott.
See ya.
Bye-bye.